Leonard Warren, the Metropolitan Opera. On March 4, 1960, Leonard Warren, a 48-year-old American baritone, stepped onto the legendary stage of the Metropolitan Opera in New York City. Warren was one of the best Verdi baritones of his time. He spent over 20 years at the Met and became a major name in American opera. That night, he was singing the intense role of Don Carlo di Vargas, translated as the Force of Destiny. The theater was full, and the audience was quiet and focused. Warren had sung this role many times, and the third act went perfectly. Nothing seemed wrong at all. Then, just after finishing the aria Orna fatale del mio destino, everything changed. He began the next line, morir tremenda cosa, to die, a terrible thing. He never finished it. Mid-sentence, he fell forward and collapsed on the stage. The orchestra stopped. Silence flooded the hall. Then came the gasps. A doctor from the audience ran on stage and tried to revive him. The curtain came down and the shocked audience was sent home. Leonard Warren was pronounced dead on the stage. The cause was a massive brain hemorrhage. His final words, spoken in song, were about death itself. MC DALESTE. On July 7, 2013, Daniel Pellegrin, known by his stage name MC DALESTE, a 20-year-old Brazilian funk singer, took the stage at an outdoor concert in Campinas, a city in São Paulo state, Brazil. DALESTE had risen quickly in the Brazilian funk scene. He had amassed millions of YouTube views and a devoted young fan base. That night, he was performing at a free outdoor event. Thousands of fans had gathered to see him. The night was warm. The crowd was packed and excited. DALESTE was mid-performance, moving across the stage with his usual energy. Everything seemed like a typical Brazilian funk concert. Then, without warning, a gunshot was heard. DALESTE stumbled. He grabbed his abdomen. He tried to keep standing. Then he collapsed. The music stopped. Emergency services arrived and transported him to a nearby hospital. Despite emergency surgery, MC DALESTE was pronounced dead from his injuries. The person responsible was never identified. The case remains officially unsolved. CHRISTINA GRIMMIE. On June 10, 2016, CHRISTINA GRIMMIE, a 22-year-old singer and YouTube star, performed at the Plaza Live in Orlando, Florida, as the opening act for the band Before You Exit. GRIMMIE had risen to fame through her YouTube covers, amassing millions of subscribers with her powerful voice and warm, genuine personality. She was known for her deep connection with fans, always staying after shows to meet them personally, sign autographs, and share hugs. That night, the concert had gone beautifully. Afterward, as always, she moved to the merchandise area to greet the fans who had come to see her. It was a ritual she cherished. Then, without any warning, tragedy struck. A man approached her in the crowd. GRIMMIE opened her arms to greet him, as she did with everyone. In an instant, she was attacked. Her brother Marcus, standing nearby, intervened immediately and prevented further harm to others. CHRISTINA GRIMMIE was rushed to Orlando Regional Medical Center. Despite every effort, she was pronounced dead in the early hours of June 11th. Investigators determined the 27-year-old attacker had traveled to Orlando specifically to harm her. The Mark SANDMAN tragedy. On July 3, 1999, Mark SANDMAN, a 46-year-old frontman of the Boston-based band Morphine, took the stage at the Nel Nome del Rock Festival in Palestrina, Italy. SANDMAN was a distinctive voice in alternative rock. Known for his deep baritone vocals and unconventional two-string slide bass, he had cultivated a devoted international following. Morphine was headlining in front of thousands of European fans. The evening was warm. The crowd was enthusiastic and engaged. Everything seemed completely normal. Then, during the fifth song of the set, something went wrong. SANDMAN stopped playing. His hands dropped from his bass. Then he collapsed on stage. Band members rushed to his side immediately. The crowd fell silent. Some thought it was part of the act. It was not. Medical personnel attempted to revive him on stage. He was rushed to a nearby hospital by ambulance. Despite their efforts, Mark SANDMAN was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. The official cause of death was a massive heart attack. He had performed his final notes, doing exactly what he loved, making music for an audience that adored him. Richard VERSALLE, the Metropolitan Opera. On January 5, 1996, Richard VERSALLE, a 63-year-old American tenor, walked onto the stage of the Metropolitan Opera in New York City. It was opening night of Leos Janáček's opera The Macropolos Case. In the opening scene, his role required him to climb a tall ladder. The theater was full. The orchestra was ready. The curtain rose. VERSALLE climbed the ladder just as he had done many times before. Nothing seemed unusual. Then something went terribly wrong. VERSALLE sang the line, "Too bad you can only live so long." He stopped. He lost his balance. He fell. His body dropped from the ladder and hit the stage. The music stopped at once. The audience froze in shock. Gasps filled the hall as stagehands ran toward him. Doctors and medical staff rushed in and tried to save him. The curtain was lowered. Soon after, an announcement was made canceling the performance. Richard VERSALLE had died on the stage. The cause was a massive heart attack. His final words about how short life can be became one of the most haunting moments in opera history.